everyone, my name's HarryAtomic, and in this video we're going to be tackling exactly how much a collection like the one behind me is worth. So if you're interested in seeing exactly how much of my time and money that I have sank into trying to build an Xbox 360 collection, then keep watching. Anyways, let's get into the video. So every so often on this channel, I'll usually get a comment somewhere along the line saying, hey, you should trade that on the GameStop, you'll get like $5. Or hey, you'll get like €10 if you trade all that on the GameStop. Yeah, that meme is still going, apparently. But anyways, that seriously did get me thinking, like, how much would a collection like mine actually be worth nowadays? Now, I'm an absolute sucker for stats, so what I've been doing is keeping a track of how much I've been spending on each item as I've been going along and collecting everything that's in here. So we'll be able to see what the current value of the collection is compared to what I actually spent on it. So let's dive on in. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of this video, please consider getting subscribed if you aren't already. I make a ton of Xbox videos. We talk about Xbox collections, we do gameplays, we chat about Xbox news, we do some live streams. If you're into Xbox and you don't like any of that fanboy shtick, then I think this might be the channel for you. Anyways, let's get on to the video. So the rules that I've set for myself for evaluating my collection is I use CeX's website mainly because I can look up prices and GameStop isn't really a thing around where I'm from. And what I've been doing is using their cash value price. So I'm trying my best to kind of err on the side of caution without being like, hey, someone on eBay selling that for like £200, so it's worth 200. Like, I'm trying to be as realistic as I can. So what I'm doing is taking CEX's cash price and I'm knocking like a few pound off because I'm kind of pricing these things to sell, if that makes sense, just to get a kind of accurate value as to what this collection would be worth. First and foremost, let's go through the hardware before we get on to the games. In no particular order, the first piece we're going to look at is a 60 gig unboxed Xbox, which I valued at £30. This is actually the first Xbox I ever owned, so to me it's worth a lot more. Then we have an unboxed Xbox just sitting here that I would rate at £35. Then there's also an E-model Xbox. Now this E-model is the one that I do most of the recording on for any like videos that I do. If I'm not using the Xbox One for backwards compatibility, I'll be using this Xbox for recording, and it still holds a bit of value. I valued it at £55. It's probably one of the more expensive Xbox consoles nowadays if you're going to be picking up Xbox consoles, but it's probably also the most reliable. Next, we just have a Kinect chilling out here, which is worth about £8. I don't know why people would still be buying Kinect. I mean, I suppose it's fun for all those Kinect games. Next up at the top, we have the Pip-Boy PC version. Now, this isn't strictly a Xbox game, however, it's Fallout inspired, and I like having Fallout stuff around. So I took a look at the value of this and valued it at about £80. It seems these things will still hold a bit of value. Next is a 60 gig unboxed Xbox 360, which I valued at £35, and then on to one of the big ones, the Xbox One X box. I bought this in the box mainly because I like boxed consoles, and if I'm paying like over £200 for something, I want like a proper good condition version of it. Anyways, it's going to hold a lot of its value, mainly because the Series X isn't out yet. It's like Microsoft's only 4K console and it's the latest version of the Xbox One, so I mean that's the reason why it's valued at around £250 so far. Next we have a little arcade unit that's unboxed. There is a hard drive attached to it, but there's no point in adding on the price tag because the hard drives are worth nothing. But for an unboxed arcade here, you would get £30 altogether. Then each of these consoles also have a wireless adapter attached to them, so that's going to be another £6 a piece, and there's seen it in the box with all of its bits for £1. So the next game here is it's a Windows game, but I include it as well because it's Bioshock. I really like Bioshock things. Now this has a ceramic figure inside, which is strange because a lot of these like collector's editions come with plastic figures inside them, so it's a bit strange to see one with a ceramic figure, especially one that happened to break in transit, which is why I bought it for next to nothing. I think I actually got it for free off a toy store I used to work on. But either way, I took a look at it and it seems that they're selling for £25-ish. I know the arm is broken off, but yeah, it's still cool. We have this awesome Xbox 360 wireless headset, which comes out at the grand total of about 30p. Yeah, it's not worth anything these days. So if you're going to buy a headset, I would recommend buying one of these, and good God, clean it. I don't like the idea of buying used headsets at all, and I have cleaned this thing to within an inch of its life, so make sure isopropyl alcohol is your friend when you're buying any sort of headset stuff at all. Next is a box boxed Xbox One. Now, I just looked up a normal boxed Xbox One to get the value of £120 for this item. However, I would imagine I could probably ask for slightly more, considering this is the 2013 launch model, so it has like that controller with the 2013 thing on it. It has like the lovely black box and all that stuff. But I'm erring on the side of caution, which is why I gave it the value that I did. But this still has everything inside it that would come with a boxed Xbox One. Next is an Xbox 360 Kinect version that is all complete in the box. It's only the 4GB model, but that's what it says on the box, so that's what I put in the box. I haven't upgraded anything in it whatsoever. But it seems that 360s are way down in price as far as box consoles go, so if you're in the market for box 360 stuff, now is definitely the time to buy it. And altogether, this comes in at about £40. Next, we have a Kinect for the Xbox One, which actually is a bit strange because the Kinect for Xbox One has held its value. Now, you do need a weird adapter thing to hook it up to a Model S, so if you are buying the Kinect, keep that in mind, and that adapter is ridiculously priced. And this Kinect is worth £35, which is a bit strange. I mean, I'm not sure if there are too many Kinect games for Xbox One, but I suppose there's some demand for it then there somewhere. Next, we have some boxed Xbox One accessories, the first of which is a boxed wireless controller adapter for Windows. Now, this is the first version. The newer version is a bit smaller. There is no collectability between either of these versions. Nobody really cares about which one you've got. If it was me, I would buy the newer one because it's smaller and just a bit handier. But I have the first one. I bought it like the day it came out, which I think, funnily enough, was the same day that Fallout 4 came out, so I had fun that day. But this wireless controller adapter, as it stands, is still worth about £12. So next is the TV tuner. I'm sure you can imagine that this isn't worth that much. It's only worth about £3 altogether. This has never been opened. It will never be opened. I have no need at all for terrestrial TV. Next is the Play and Charge kit, which for all Xbox controllers, if you don't have a Play and Charge kit, you really should pick one up. There's tons of third-party ones, but I always try to stick to official stuff where I can because I know that it's gonna work, especially something that I use as often as I do. I have multiple Play and Charge kits knocking around, but I usually got them secondhand along with consoles, so I'm not going to include their value. I'll only include the value of the one I bought, which nowadays you'll pick up for about a tenner. Next is the illustrious, wonderful, fantastically required chat pad for the Xbox 360 at a grand total of 30 pence. These things do not hold their value at all. They are not required at all. The one thing that I would check though, just as a note for anybody buying these, there is a small headphone jack attachment at the bottom that you have to kind of line up whenever you're connecting it to your controller. If you do put any force on this when you're connected to the controller, this will bend and potentially break. So if you are buying one secondhand, even if it is worth only a few pence, double check that that little headphone jack is like secure and all in one piece, because the last thing you want to do is buy something and it be broke, even if it is worth basically nothing. So moving over to the TV stand that's always displayed like down here behind me. First of all, we have the Xbox 360 Slim model. Now, the thing is though, this model is actually reset glitch hacked. If you would like to see a video on the reset glitch hacked Xbox 360, then let me know down below and I'll put some videos together. But because this is something that is modified and so CeX will not take it, I ended up having to take a look on eBay where I found them generally going for about 80 odd pounds, so I'm going to value mine at 70. The next thing we have on our list is an unboxed Xbox, just a regular black Xbox, same as the one we had before, so I'm going to give it the same value of £35. Next, we have a crystal unboxed Xbox. Now, this is the one that I play on if I do play any Xbox games. The only reason I have two Xboxes on this stand is because it's currently taking up the place of my Xbox One S. However, the Xbox Crystal is a little more expensive than the black one, coming in at around £55 unboxed. And the final piece of hardware that we have this time around is my daily driver, my Xbox One S 1TB unboxed. This is the one that I use for most of my videos along with my Xbox E. It works really well, it does everything I needed to do. There's no point in me using the Xbox One X for videos because I can't record in 4K. So I use my Xbox One X, which currently I would value at around £160. So altogether for hardware then, that brings me in at a total of £1,186.60. I'll reveal exactly what I paid for all my hardware at the end of the video, along with all my games as well. Speaking of games, let's move on to the Xbox 360 games. Now, this is the most games that I have for any one set by far. I think I have about 3/4 of the complete Xbox 360 set at the moment, and I've painstakingly went through each one and evaluated it. Now, I'll not do what I did with the hardware and go through the value of each game, but instead instead I'll just do the value of the entire collection. So altogether, priced to move, like fair prices for each game, comes in at £2,098.40. Now, do you find that surprising or not? I was a bit surprised at that. It was actually higher than I thought it would be. A lot of these games aren't actually worth a lot these days. That's why I always say it's the best time to get into collecting for the 360. But is slightly over £2,000 what you were expecting or not? I'd love to hear what you guys think of all these valuations down below. So we've got two more sets to go through. I've got a small collection of Xbox One and a small collection of original Xbox games. So let's go through those as well. So altogether, the trade-in price of all my Xbox One games is £344 for all the games that you see here. And altogether, the combined value of all the Xbox games that you see here is £108.75. So there we have it, that's the value of my collection, but let's do a little rundown altogether and see exactly what I paid versus what they're actually worth these days, just to see if I did a good job or not. So altogether, for the hardware that we went through in this video, we came up with a price of £1,186.60. So altogether, what I paid was £618, giving me a total savings for hardware of £568.60. So the reason why I was able to keep this so low was mainly by buying things off Facebook Marketplace or trying to buy bundles and just trying to keep the price as low as I can. So for me, I'm really happy I was able to keep hardware as low as I did. So on to the actual Xbox 360 collection. We saw that the Xbox collection was worth £2,098.40. Altogether, what I paid was £1,712.98, giving me a total savings of £385.42. Now, that is totally to be expected. The reason being is because collecting values for 360 are pretty much bubbling around the lowest that I think they're ever going to be. I think next generation we're going to see a small rise in some games. Anything that's worth nothing I think will kind of always be worth nothing. I don't think there's going to be any sleepers. I could be wrong though. However, I think that some of the expensive titles are only going to get more expensive, as well as kids games. I think they're going to skyrocket as well. So a saving of nearly £400 on Xbox 360 is something I'm pretty happy with. I'm hoping that that number gets bigger as time goes on and the value of the collection goes up, but at the same time, I mean, I don't really mind because I just kind of buy these things to enjoy them, so I'm just happy that they're here. We'll do the last two quite quickly. Xbox One came in at £344 for the collection. I paid $432.98, mainly because I bought some games brand new and then their price tanked, which gave me a total deficit of £88.98. Again, I expected this because I bought some of these games new, but I don't really mind, especially when you consider the original Xbox, of which we found out the collection was worth £108.75, and I paid the grand total of £19.62 for all of these games, giving me a total saving of £89.13, pretty much cancelling out the deficit that I have from Xbox One. So I'm pretty happy that that evened itself out. So let's move on and check out the grand totals. The grand totals altogether for my collection was £3,737.75, and I paid a total of £2,783.58, giving me a total savings of £954.17. So I'm really happy that I've saved the guts of £1,000 so far on all the games that I've managed to buy for this room. It's also nice to know that I'm not getting that €10 that people keep saying that my collection would be worth to GameStop. Maybe it's just because I went to CeX, I don't know. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like it, then please give the video a like and also consider getting subscribed. As I said at the start, I make an absolute ton of Xbox videos, and this is the channel for you if you enjoy Xbox content without all that fanboy shtick. Also, if you enjoy chatting about Xbox, we have a Discord. We hang out all the time. We talk about Xbox. We have like over 100 members now, all talking about games and collecting and just having loads of fun. Also, it's the best place to message me directly if you want to message me about anything Xbox related. So use the links down in the description below if you want to join up on the Discord. Also, if you do the same thing for your collection, like if you do an evaluation, then please post a video on YouTube and send me a link to it. I love looking through people's collections. We also have a game collection channel on the Discord, so drop your evaluations on there, or use the comments of this video to drop some evaluations on as well, and I'll get a read at them. I love hearing how much money people save by going out and like shopping smart and buying, you know, Xbox 360 games and whatever. It's just loads of fun. It's part of the reason why that I love collecting. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.